Welcome back to another episode of the Black Cinema Experience
Podcast.
I'm your girl, JB.
And I'm Cameron.
And this week we have a very exciting episode for you. Rooted in tradition, The Color Purple. We are talking about the remake, this new one that just came out in 2023. Cameron, tell us your thoughts. How do you feel about this movie?
Well, you say tradition. Some people say trauma. But, I agree. Tradition. I'm a huge fan of The Color Purple. I have been for a long time. Obviously, everybody's seen the original 1980s film with Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover, Oprah Winfrey.
That's what you're a fan of, the trauma?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the trauma, but I'm a fan of Alice Walker, who won Pulitzer Prize for her book. And I'm a fan of the story of, the resilience of the character Celie. But I also love musicals. So when the musical came out, I was obsessed. Now,
period.
Again, I got to see it on Broadway.
Because we're choir kids.
Exactly.
Okay, so these songs we already know.
Exactly. So
okay?
I was obsessed with the musical. So seeing a musical adaptation of a movie, of a book, I feel like, the message could sometimes get convoluted, but overall, I think they did a really good job. And it has Fantasia.
Period. Fantasia, Taraji B. Henson, Danielle.
Her, Sierra.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo.
Okay, and let's not forget they still put Whoopi in it. They gave her respect. She gave birth to a whole baby in this movie.
She did.
So let's just talk about the important parts of why this movie is something that you should see as soon as possible. If not in theaters, to support Black people, at least on Netflix or at home or wherever it streams. Okay. Number one, my favorite thing about this movie is, again, they paid homage to tradition. So them having that short cameo with Whoopi, them having certain lines that just could not be, it's not something you want to rewrite, you know? Like, when Celie tells Harpo, before you do right,
so you do right by me, everything you do.
I knew you knew it.
Or you told Harpo to beat me. Like,
these are important lines. We need to see that. But also, it is a new day and age, right? There has been some character development in this version of The Color Purple. Specifically when Celie, opens up her business and she's got Celie's Pets. It's so good. It's so nice to see that, because in 2024 or whatever, we definitely need that type of reflection. Like, for Black women, we need to see, like, oh, look at us, we're owning things. The story has changed even in that regard. In the original, she might have come up, but she wasn't like a successful business owner.
Exactly. I feel like they kind of, and again, in the movie they do show her owning her own business, but I feel like it's good to see it be brought into a better light through the musical, like making it more of a point of like, this is really important for a woman, especially a Black woman in this time, to own her own business, especially where she's come from. Right. So I feel like it made it even more triumphant, and it's one of my favorite songs in the musical. So I was glad they didn't change it, because you have to also understand too, for this musical, they did change some of the music and they rearranged a lot of the songs. So that kind of put me set me off. But when you got Tamala Mann singing the beginning of a gospel.
She started the movie off stomping out there with them girls. I was like, look at them legs. Like, she mean business. Seeing her in the movie was something I didn't know I necessarily needed. I had no idea. I enjoyed watching it. The songs were actually they actually broke my heart, some of them, because this is a story with all of this trauma, all of this pain. So we're seeing it, but then they're adding these musical scores that are so beautifully decorated. Set design is perfect. Costume is perfect. We're talking about even the characters are soulful. They you feel their presence. Everything was so intentional in this remake. And they even had like I said, with Whoopi Goldberg giving birth to the baby in the beginning, it was really like a ode to the original Celie. Like, there were so many things in here, because when Black people watch stuff, we watch it thinking like,
you get all sentimental.
You better respect this moment in the movie, and this movie really did respect each and every monumental moment from the original. So that's what I really liked about this.
Can you tell us a scene that made you cry? I know you want. Talk about that.
I cried the entire movie. I'm not even sure. I went in there intending to watch a movie that I knew had a bit of trauma in it. But again, at the root, at the core, it's just a really good story. I know a lot of Black people don't want to watch it because it's like trauma porn. So they don't want to see it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a really well-written, involved story.
Exactly.
That has so many layers, that gives so many points of redemption for our main characters, that it's actually worth the watch. It's still a good story at the heart of it. But the moment that I think I cried the most, obviously when Celie started getting the letters from her sister, when she actually started finding the letters from her sister, and she realized that oh wow,
she's been hiding this from me this whole time.
Yeah, then we really find out how ancient Mister is. That probably was the most tear jerking moment. But like it just resulted in laughter and pure joy when CB cussed him out at the table. Exactly. When Daniel Booker's character Sophia got out of jail. For me, I was crying because of letter shit, but then I saw that he was like actually moving to try to help her sister XYZ. And then, of course, the moment happens where CB cusses him out, and I am right there with Daniel Booker in all those tears that she had, just crying, laughing. Because of how like they moved us through that transition.
That scene to me, again, I love the original too, but I feel like that's the only thing that I say. That scene was done so well, and it was like so seamless. And I want to give kudos to Danielle Brooks for that, because when she went from the crying scene, when she was crying, when she was laughing at, like, it woke her up out of her like stupor, you know, because she had been so in jail for years,
so depressed.
Yeah, and when she started laughing, and then she started crying, saying, I just want to thank you, Miss Seeley. I was like, that almost took me out, because like it's crazy how laughter can like bring you out of that funk. Yeah. But then you still have to feel all those emotions too. Like there's been times when you start laughing and you start crying. Yeah. And you start laughing again. So it was just so good to see that executed well, and just.
She looked like a lunatic, but for the trauma involved in the story, I mean. That's all that she could have been at the end of it, right? I mean, she went to jail for telling a white woman no, and then still came out of jail, and then ended up working for her. So yeah, I mean, that felt like a really just response. I don't want to ruin too many things about this movie. Are there any other key points that you really felt like, you have to see the remake because?
Well, I feel like it's something that's fresh, and contrary to popular belief, I don't think it's just a movie about queerness. I don't think it's just a movie about emasculating men. I think it has so many different. I don't know if you heard the controversy, like they said. It's a lot of controversy. So I mean, it does have those. I mean, it doesn't emasculate men. If you're emasculated as a man, then you just need to go to therapy.
Tighten up.
Honestly, I saw a lot of redemption even in the male characters. Right. So I don't understand when people got that. And then also the love story between Celie and Suge Avery. I feel like it's just. I feel like people play into it too much. I feel like it does have like queer aspects, and she is essentially queer, but that's not what the whole story
That's wild that you brought that up. That's actually wild, because I always, when I watched the original, I thought that was always strange, like the kiss that her and Suge shared. It didn't feel to me like a love story kiss. It felt like an exploratory kiss, but it felt more like sisters than it felt like love, you know?
Well, in the book, they do have a relationship, but I feel like that's birthed because this is the first time somebody actually had love for her. Right. And it just happened to be a woman. Yeah. If that makes sense. Which I feel like is the whole point of love in general, about being sexually fluid, is like it's not about necessarily the sex of the person, it's like how you feel a lot of times. Yeah. But again, I don't feel like that's what the whole movie was about. So I didn't understand like the whole controversy in that area. Right.
Like they brought that up. They did though. And even in the remake, they definitely showed us like, oh yeah, they a little gay, but we're not really sure how we want to address it. It was a very strange like hook they left us off of. They were like, yeah, they're gonna kiss again. We don't know how you're gonna feel. Strange.
But I feel like that's the whole point of like when you discover who you are or just going through life. Like you have these moments where you're just like you're not sure how you feel, but you just go with it. Especially when you're Black and you're just trying to figure out everything, especially in this time period. Yeah, I feel like that's what the whole point of the story is.
Yeah, just to show an explorative Black woman having a journey.
So I'm saying all that to say I don't think there's an agenda.
Yeah, there was no game. They were trying to make us all queer from that scene.
I was just wanting to throw that out there. I don't think that's what it's about. I don't think it was for all Black women to hate Black men, because it's nothing but Black men at the table at the end too. So I just want to say I don't think you get those.
Well, I want to know what your thoughts were about Taraji P. Henson's character when she played Suge Avery. Did you think that she actually delivered?
I love Taraji, yeah.
That was nothing. I know you love Taraji. I know we love Taraji.
I feel like there's a certain je ne sais quoi when it comes to Suge Avery. I think she did an amazing job. I just felt like I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have had somebody who's like a amazing singer playing Suge Avery, if that makes sense.
That's so funny. I thought Taraji was a perfect actress because she was a mid singer. Because the real Suge Avery wasn't a great singer either. She was just fine. That was like her charm. Like I don't feel like she was amazing.
I'm saying based on the musical, like when you have Fantasia Barrino playing Celie.
No, that's true.
You need to have somebody that can stand up to Fantasia as a singer. Like again, like because in the music in the Broadway they've had people like Jennifer Hudson play Suge Avery, and they've had I can't think of her name, other one Broadway lady who played Nala Lion King. I can't think of her name right now, but I'm saying they've had like heavy hitters. Michelle Williams has played her too, like people who can like
really
sing. And again, Taraji P, she can sing, and she's a good actress. She's amazing. I'm just saying, for me, my personal taste, I wish I would have had like somebody like that can like
really deliver,
blow, because like they have a lot of good songs together, and there's like a lot of that she could have done with the character had she been able to.
Damn, those are some strong feelings about Taraji. Honestly, I thought that she did great.
She did do a good job. I'm not saying she didn't do a good job. And I even thought
she sounded great on her song.
She did sound good. I'm saying, but was it amazing?
Yeah, but I understand the value of wanting to have her name on this type of film anyways. Like, to have an all-star cast. Mm-hmm. I mean, Taraji is an all-star performer, so I get why she was there.
Absolutely.
But that was really a harsh judgment. But Domingo Coleman, though. Him, however, wow, what an excellent Harpo.
Mr.
Oh, Mr. Not Harpo. Right.
You love Harpo.
I love that name. It just sticks out to me. But you're right. Mm-hmm. Domingo Coleman is Mr.
Yeah.
And first off, what a gift. What a gift Domingo Coleman has as an actor.
I think you're obsessed.
I am obsessed. He is so beautiful. Domingo, if you are watching, wow. You really did your thing. But no, honestly, what was your thoughts about him being Mr.?
Coleman Domingo
versus our original character, our original bad guy.
Danny Glover did do that. Don't get me wrong.
He did that, didn't he?
But I think Coleman Domingo brought a nice, fresh perspective to Mr. And I felt like
because he was kind of handsome. He was a handsome Mr.
Because it makes sense because in the book, Mr. is handsome. Mm-hmm. He's not like some ugly guy that just takes over. It's like this is a handsome, well-to-do man. He owns his own land. He has money. He's just a horrible person. Because he was beat by his dad and like all this trauma. It is trauma, I guess. but it's how they overcome. That's what we're talking about. But Coleman Domingo did amazing. I've been following him for years, seeing him in Passing Strange and like Walking Dead. He's been all over. So it's good to see him like come to the forefront.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about it. Just his voice alone, so specific, so unique.
I was hoping to hear him sing though. I was mad they didn't like feature that because Mr. has some good songs too in the music though. So. Definitely. And Holly Bailey. What did you think about her performance as young sister to Celie? I think she did okay. I want to just pick a little bit the wiggetry they be doing with her hair. I don't know how they be getting it. They be looking so good. I'm like, how they get them out? They be flat. Anyway, the stylist, chef's kiss, like the hairstylist, wow. Like, wow. But Halle Bailey, she's amazing. Like, she's such a young star. She was pregnant like we thought.
Period.
During the whole...
We already knew.
We knew she was pregnant. But I feel like she did an amazing job. It was good to have them showcase Nettie's character a little bit more in the beginning, because I know like originally she's like always heavily showcased in the end, especially in the musical. So like seeing more of her was really nice. Yeah,
that was nice. But what about grown Nettie? So
Sierra?
when it's Sierra. Now just tell me if you can remember, did Sierra have any lines spoken at all?
Yeah, there's like one part when she's reading the letter, you see like Sierra's hands. I don't know if they were trying to surprise us that it was Sierra, but I was like, everybody knows
y'all said Sierra was in
it. So we were like, we know she's gonna have to be somewhere. She wasn't gonna get small anyway. But yes, it's like this little scene where she's like writing. It's just her hands writing, and she's like reading the letter out. Yeah. And Fantasia's like listening to her read it. Yeah. But that was it. And then at the end when she like pops up.
That's like, I was like, Sierra, were you really a part of this? But but still.
Same with her. It was like.
Nonetheless, cried in theaters, bawled my eyes out when I saw Sierra come up on the screen. I'm like, oh, it's Nettie.
I was like, level up.
Is that how you?
That's because she leveled up technically.
That's good.
But anyway,
That's good.
No, but I always cried at that part when she's like, "Who's that coming?" And then it's her sister after 40 years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so thoughtful. The set design in this film was impeccable.
The scenery, yes.
But the way that they shot this, when they chose to come up close, when they chose to do the far away, the motion in the camera for all the dancing scenes, because it's a musical, there were so many dancing scenes. You know, you really felt like you were there. Even her had her little song as Squeak, and it was like cute, you know, because they were dancing and she had her little parts where she was singing, and it was like, okay, like I'm feeling this. The videography was amazing.
Yeah. And I did like her, but again,
uh-oh.
Her name is Squeak. And she didn't Squeak not one time.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing.
That's the whole...
Because Squeak talks like this.
Exactly. So I was just... Like, you could thought...
You did a
little bit.
Did you want to try? You know, did you...
like, did you even...
Or did you say...
Think about, like, let me...
Was her retake on Squeak, I'm going to do Squeak as an alto.
It probably was.
She was, like, not squeaking at all. But still, I was happy to see her beautiful face.
She was still amazing, though.
And she was a good actress, too. She was actually very present in all of her scenes.
Shockingly. That's why I need to rewatch The Beauty and the Beast, because she did it live, and I want with Josh Groban, so I need to see that, too. But anyway, she did an amazing job.
She did. Well, before we end this episode, are there any other wonderful things you want to bring forth about this special rendition of Color Purple to tell the people why they need to see this movie?
The Color Purple is a very deep American treasure, and you just need to experience it for yourself. You need to support these black actors with these black writers, with these black producers, to get the money in our community. No, but in all seriousness, it's a very special story to me. I've had it around my entire life, so and I'm excited to see where it goes next. Honestly, I feel like it's one of our classics, and although it may be heavy, I still feel like there are some very light moments, and at the end, it does give you hope. So,
and I would like to say that when he said American, he specifically referred to trauma. He wanted you to be aware that America has a traumatic history of abusing people, and that this movie is a wonderful preview of the abuse that Black people endured in the early 1900s. So thank you for saying that. I loved that recap, Cameron.
And how they overcome, though.
And how they overcome, because there's
hope. How they overcome.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Black Cinema Experience podcast. Thanks for watching.